Okay, so I have to admit I'm a bit concerned over what might happen over the next few days because it's the 29th of May of June, 29th of June, and it's yeah, if something's going to happen, if someone's going to come to me and take me to a show or whatever, um, I'm convinced that it will need to happen in the next few days. I think the Feast of Trumpets is the first or second, so I'm hoping that someone will come, but I don't know. I've been waiting 9 years and no one's come. And that does mean that in a few days' time, if nothing happens, I'm going to be highly concerned that nothing will happen in the next month. And I don't know the future, but I'm pretty sure you know by now if you're coming to me or not in the next few days. Um, so I just want to give a pre-warning as to things that might happen if you don't come. I don't know what's going to happen, but if you don't come, I guess the plan, I don't know what the plan would be because I still don't know the future. But um, there is a possibility that the fall away must happen before people see me. Not necessarily before people see me, but before I think I need to get on Big Brother 100%. Um, but whether that happens before or after the fall, I don't necessarily know. I mean, I know that the fall would be caused because people believe that like Jesus is here or that Jesus is speaking through songs, through Justin Bieber's songs, and I don't know who's on my side yet. But I seem to think that there might be a really good reason why people or why God, my higher self, would set up a timeline where everyone worships the Father. I've been always against that, and I've never been for worshiping the Father because it's God's is a female, and I'm pretty sure God wants us to be seen as a female. The thing is, though, if everyone believing that God is is a female means that making me be more like I find people, it will make people find me easier. Maybe that is the reason why it can't be that way, because if people seek for my light or whatever I'm doing, I'm clearly inspiring a lot of stuff. But if everyone knew that, if all 8 million people, I don't know how many people there are in the world, but if all the people in the world believed um, that Christ was a blonde woman, they'd all be seeking after that. And maybe what I'm going through would be far more intense than what it is. Because right now, the majority of people are closed, they're asleep, and they're seeking after things that are just nonsense. Or maybe not nonsense. I mean, God the Father is just world leaders and stuff, and they have an importance because I don't really want to leave the world because there's a lot of decisions that need to be made, and I think it would be way too much pressure to have that kind of responsibility to be responsible for making all the world's decisions. I mean, that's just way too much, and I have no interest in that. I believe in choice and democracy and stuff. So, um, if people believing in the Father means that people will believe in democracy and in world leaders who choose to go to war, but at the same time, war helps reduce the population, so that there's good in that. But if deceiving the people into believing that they should worship that is, what's going to be best for the timeline, then yeah, great, that's what it should be. And it would also explain why so many people, including Britney Spears, for ages was worshiping the Father, which was like, about me, why are you still worshiping the Father? And that didn't make any sense, because it was like, after everything that I've said, why is it that you're still worshiping the Father? And it makes sense, though, if the reason why people shouldn't worship God the Mother is because it would hurt me too much, or I don't know, spiritually drain me more than I could cope with. And there's a hell of a lot of people here. I mean, how many people would want the number of, like, if every single person on this planet was your kid, how many people would want that? Like, literally no one. So yeah, maybe maybe that's the reason. But I still don't know about this date. Are you planning on coming this week? I suppose if you don't, then I have to wait a week to find the answer. And when I get that answer, I will then have to just say whatever I feel at the time. But yeah, my guess is at the time I will, if nothing happens, if you don't come to me in the next few days, next week or two, then I'm guessing that fall needs to happen beforehand. But I don't know. I think it's triggered by me definitely, because people are waiting for the Antichrist and they need to see the Antichrist, or have some sort of um, sense that the trumpets have been blown, so to speak. And I thought that it was to get onto the show, to tell people, for them to have a chance to get to know me and stuff. And I'm hoping that still is the option, and I'm hoping that's still going to happen. But if it's not going to happen this month, because you know the answer to that, not me, then the alternative would be that um, people just need to see a picture of me or whatever, and then I think um, guys need to say how it's all the Father, and that he's still the light, and that you have to get to paradise by taking a shot, a literal one. And yeah, that's I don't know what's going to happen. I just feel it's important that I say this, just because I hate saying things and then finding out later that I'm wrong, because I feel stupid for saying that. But at the same time, I believe what I believe because it helps me better. And I don't know, thinking that I was going to be on Big Brother like this month was helping me. Well, that wasn't really, because it's just basically making me wait every day thinking that something's going to happen when maybe it's not. And so that's, yeah, you get the good and the bad with everything. But yeah, I don't know, things happen for a reason, and maybe this, I'm pretty sure everything that I've known could have been given before, but I have to wait for people to hear things at the right time and stuff. But yeah, I don't even know if this is too soon to say, because there's a high chance that you will come to me, and then what I'm saying now is nonsense. But yeah, as a human, I just have to think as logically as I possibly can, and that is that that is some logic if nothing happens in the next 2 weeks.